Hi, Joey. All right, waiting for connect. Hey, girl.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon. I don't even know what the time frame of the day is anymore. Hi.
I know we've completely lost the idea of time, space, and motion, right?
I have to like keep something on the side of my bed with a schedule. So I'm like awake and ready and, get myself prepared for having a day ahead of me.
I know it's kind of crazy. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk to us a little bit about
I love you
beauty
and I
and your
miss you and I'm so
world.
happy.
Not only do I like love you and trust you so much with my skin, but I'm like completely obsessed with you as a friend, as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. So thank you for taking some time. I
Thank you.
I've been thinking a lot about because I haven't been on set for a long time. I haven't been at work in now close to 8 to 10 weeks. So I've been thinking a lot about the conversations that I've often had at work and on set and with my clients, and we've had these conversations ourselves about
Yes.
what it feels like to be beautiful today prior to everything that's happened in the world. But I've been thinking a lot about like what can I share and what can I take back to my beauty community and my beauty industry in terms of the things that I've learned in the past 18, 19 years that I've been doing this. And so I was thinking, what a better person to start off this little mini series with than somebody who's also been in the beauty industry for such a long time. As I know, you've been in the beauty industry now for 18 years, I believe, right?
18 years. Yes. Yes. It
And
goes by fast.
it's crazy, right?
It goes quick. Yes.
And so I just kind of wanted to have one of these conversations with you about what it feels like for you to feel beautiful, what it feels like, what does it take for you to feel beautiful? What does it take internally? What does it take externally? And also like have this whole conversation about if we feel beautiful ourselves, like how much better and how much easier and how much more we're taking care of each other, which is something, it's a common thread that we've been talking about over the last 7 months, is taking care of ourselves as much as we're taking care of ourselves, taking care of our neighbors, right?
Yes. I love the questions that you sent over to me because it really made me work on my answers. And it was nice because I feel like now more than ever, there's an opportunity for New Yorkers who are so busy. And I know myself, like my schedule was always so packed. I didn't have time to do anything that I really, truly wanted to do. And
Yeah.
now I'm like waking up, I'm having coffee, I'm meditating, um, and like digging deep into what I feel and just like constantly checking in with what makes me feel good. And, you know, obviously, this is such a hard time for so many people. And you have to just like check in daily and say, okay, we're going to get through this and do the things that you haven't had time to do. And whether it's FaceTiming with a loved one or writing in the journal, I've had a journal sitting on my bedside table for over a year that I bought as gifts for other people. And now finally I'm writing in it.
That's awesome. That's so amazing. Yeah, I've tried to journal a little bit, but it's been a little difficult because every day for everyone is so different, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so how are you doing now? Like, how are you feeling? How is, you're an entrepreneur, you have staff, you have women that work with you, you have clients that
Yes.
depend on you. So how are you doing?
I've always been one to, trust the process and really recognize. I mean, I've been through so much in my life. I'm 41, and, for a 41-year-old, I've been through so many things that have like made me dig deep into myself, right? And so, as a leader in my business or, a leader with my husband, like just like recognizing that I always have to have compassion. That's been like number one for me. And, you know, checking in and just like sharing whatever it is that I can to make somebody else feel good right now. Like I'm taking it a little bit off of myself and my nervousness and my anxiety. And I'm like, what can I do to make the other person feel better? Which I think we all need to do right now, and just, you know, obviously take care of ourselves, but at the same time, daily check in with someone else. And my staff, I'm like texting with them, and, you know, they're all nervous. They're all scared.
Right.
My clients. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all teetering between taking care of ourselves, but also like taking care of everyone else. And that, I think, for a very long time has that opportunity hasn't been prevented to it hasn't been allowed for us to do, because we're constantly either on overdrive taking care of others, especially someone like you who is in the industry and takes care of other people, or like you just have to go on this complete decompression of going on vacation and shutting off your phone for a week, which I know you do also. So it's like this never middle ground, and it's really interesting to like learn and live in this world where we do have to do that right now. We have to be very present to the fact that you have to take care of yourself, but also taking care of others is more important than ever.
It's a balance. It's always a balance. You know, when I started my business, I literally never took care of myself. I was like sleep deprived, and honestly, I didn't feel beautiful. Like I was making other people feel beautiful, and I personally did not feel beautiful. And I think like when you started the conversation, you shared like how important it is that if now, you know, you are recognizing that others need a little TLC, a little love, and you're taking that time, it definitely makes you feel better. But I personally notice that when I'm well rested, like right now I'm getting rest. I never had rest. So I'm like looking at the positive and saying, I'm going to come out of this better and stronger. And so is my team. And, you know, my clients, I'm checking in with them daily, whether it's doing like one-on-one FaceTimes to make sure that they have their home care routine so they feel good.
Yeah.
And just those little things, like whatever it is. I had a client send me, mother and daughter, they had their face masks on. They did a Saturday ritual. The husband was involved. Like just little things like that. I mean, honestly, it's all we can do right now.
Yeah, so yeah, it's true. It's all that we can do, really. Technically, physically, and emotionally, it's all we really can do right now. Um, so what I want to ask you a question. So what does
Yeah.
beauty mean to me? Like, what does beauty mean to you? Like, what is that word? What is that? What is that? What does beauty encompass for Joey?
I mean, the idea of feeling beautiful in your own skin is definitely something that everybody thinks about. But for me, you know, not just the physical, but more of like when I think about beauty, it's the attitude, it's the achievement, it's the thought process that you have. Like to me, that's beautiful. And I find myself over the years recognizing people that I look up to, like they're beautiful to me based on their attitude and their achievement, not so much like the physical aspect.
Yeah. Well, uh, who do you look up to? Who are the people in your life that you find beautiful, and who are the people in your life that you think of? This is like the most beautiful person in my world. And what do those people have in common? Like, what are those people? What are those attributes that you find beautiful about them?
That's a great question. I have to definitely dig deeper. I think, honestly, I've been so independent. Like it's so challenging for me to really be in awe by someone. And that's where I say like the attitude and the achievement, like whether it's like a spiritual person that leads us in a direction that you can say, okay, let me do the spiritual work. You know, you and I have that connection where we love and value those people in our lives. My husband, who has become someone so special to me in this time, right? Where it's like his attitude and his achievement is really beautiful to me. Like I've always like taken it into myself and like I have to do everything, you know, I'm the leader. But now I'm like recognizing that there are people that I love and respect, especially on social media right now, people that are thriving and sharing. Like I am thinking like this is a beautiful person. I can connect to them, and in the way that they're like sharing their weaknesses, they're sharing their achievements and their accomplishments, and they're not like breaking down and losing it in this time. And I think that's important. I can't say like one or two people in particular, but I think overall, like people who thrive, and there's clients of mine that I love who I say, how do you do it? Like, how do you continue to build? And how do you, like, for example, they have families or, you know, children. I think that it's amazing that people can actually create a business and grow. Like even for you, like you're around Estée Lauder, like those people that you deal with day to day, like how much they've accomplished and achieved. And that's like such a beautiful thing that they have such a desire and never give up.
Yeah. It's interesting because you said, you know, those people that are thriving, especially on social media, and this is why our conversation is on IG Live, because, you know, I've been looking also for the past 7-8 weeks, I've been looking a lot at Instagram Lives and people thriving on Instagram, and even some of our spiritual teachers have gone to talk about the difference between those who are thriving during this time and those who are not thriving during this time. And, you know, what are the benefits of both? Because there are benefits and there are, that's Charlie in the background.
I love Charlie. Give her a kiss.
I will. Because, you know, what are the benefits and what are the pros and cons of those that are thriving, but also what are the pros and cons of those that are not? And perhaps, you know, perhaps they're different for everyone. And of course they're different for everyone. But that's one of the things that really kind of inspired me to start having this conversation. And, you know, I really hope to bring more people onto this conversation. And
yeah, you have a great platform.
I have a few of my clients that are asking or willing to jump on live with me and, you know, have these conversations with them. And I look forward to maybe introducing some of them soon. But you know, getting back to you, like, what do you do in the morning? Because I think so much about your intention during the day is about what you do in the morning, right? And I've been exploring this for the past couple of years. And on days that I have green juice, I might eat a little healthier that day, but on days that I have eggs and bacon, I may not. So what is your routine in the morning that helps you thrive all day long?
I am definitely not a person that jumps out of bed and is like, I need to get in the shower. And like, I need to take my time. I'm a Leo, I'm a lion. Like, you know, we need to rest a little bit. And I definitely need like a few minutes to myself. So whether it's like having my coffee and just like, I'm doing like breathing exercises now. And I always have to eat breakfast. I can't understand how some people are like, I don't eat till 1 o'clock. I'm like, I need to eat. Like I need to fuel my body. And I'm like doing things that feel good to me. I used to never eat, you know, because I was always in a rush, like eat a bar. And now I'm like, no, let me make eggs. Let me like find a new recipe and just doing what feels good right now. Like I'm not putting any pressure on myself.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And staying healthy. Like, I think like you always have to incorporate, you know, things that make you feel healthy, especially right now. You want a strong immune system. So I'm like trying new supplements and, I would take snapshots of photos that people would share and I would never buy them. Now I'm like researching things. I'm like, I should try this. This looks like a good, Yeah,
no, it's amazing. When do you feel your most beautiful, Joey?
when I'm rested. I have to say, like the past, you know, like there was a few days that I was stressed and I was like feeling anxious and I was like, how am I going to, you know, take care of my staff and my business? And I was not getting rest. And I was waking up and I was feeling like my skin wasn't healthy or my body wasn't healthy. And so I think now I'm really taking time to listen to my body, myself, and rest and not overdo it. Like, yes, thrive through this, like have positive thoughts, but also I feel beautiful when I'm well rested. Like I did my makeup for you. I got enough rest.
And you look beautiful. So
Thank
beautiful.
you. I learned a lot from you.
I miss doing your makeup.
The best ever.
What are there times that you didn't necessarily don't feel your most beautiful? And if so, like, how do you get yourself out of that rut? How do you get yourself out of that moment where you like, you know, you're saying rest is so important for you, but what about on days like you might not get enough rest, but you still have to go on and continue your day? Like, what do you do?
Those days, yeah, they're the harder days for me. Like remembering prior to what we're going through right now, those days were very hard for me. Like I maybe wasn't as affectionate and compassionate as I wanted to be. And it definitely made me recognize that I needed to, you know, take a step back and not plan so much in my schedule. And, you know, the idea of having my treatment rooms and, you know, my treatments, they are definitely a luxury that I feel so grateful for. Obviously, I worked very hard in order to like build all these fun things. And those things make me feel good. Like it's like little things that it's like, you know, taking time for my eye treatment, whatever, just so I can connect to myself, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And those things are so important for long term. And even taking a bath, lighting candles, and, you know, doing like a little something where you feel like the element in the air is like relaxing. You gave me this beautiful sound bowl, like that I'm using now, like
Yeah.
those things. Yeah.
Um, well, even outside of like those physical things, what do you do to yourself physically? So you just mentioned you put on makeup to feel a little bit more like put
For
together,
you.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
What else
Well,
do you
you
do for
know,
yourself? What do you do for yourself to make yourself feel beautiful in terms of the physicality of it, right?
yeah. I have to say, like, for my wedding, for example, like, I did a treatment once a week. I was like, I'm putting it on the calendar. I'm doing this for myself. I am like making all these other people, you know, on the outside look good. I'm going to commit and do this for myself so that in the end, I could say, like, this really was a big difference for me, like, on the outside. And I think just the idea of scheduling that time was so important and really made me feel beautiful.
What are some of those treatments that you do? Because I personally know you do like insane treatments at JTAV Clinical
Yes.
Skincare. You're like one step away from a plastic surgeon because you can clear skin, you can brighten skin, you have the ability to lift skin, to tighten skin, to
Yes.
I mean, like you literally are one stitch away because that's all you don't do, right? You don't cut. You're one stitch away from
No, we don't cut
actual
and we
full
don't,
face.
I don't, right. I don't personally inject. I have our friend, Dr. Alvarez, come. He does all the injections. So my idea is like, what can we do that's non-invasive, that's result driven? And, you know, I shared, on social media before, I had the most, you know, terrible acne as a teenager, like the worst breakouts. I had cystic breakouts. And I remember as a teenager, I didn't feel beautiful, right? I was like so judgmental to myself. Besides the fact that I came from an Italian grandmother, and, you know, like I was like, I got a rhinoplasty because I was like, I feel like a different person, you know, like I would look in the mirror, besides my skin being really bad and like these other traits that I took on from family, I wanted to feel better in myself. And I was like, what could I do for my skin? What could I do? And I really researched and like never stopped learning about treatments that were non-invasive. And now we have them at JTAV. So we have like a whole method that incorporates exfoliation, cleaning, deep pore cleaning, minimizing fine lines and wrinkles, the Vivace, the Clear and Brilliant, all of these things that really have very little downtime, but give your skin a beautiful, healthy glow.
So you spoke about family a little bit. So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, are there any home remedies that you still do? Because I know you have access to like lasers and Botox and creams, but is there anything family related that you still do?
Yeah, so my grandmother, I mean, you guys, you know, my hair is like crazy, thick, thick, thick hair. And my father, he had no
Joey,
idea how,
Joey, I hate to interrupt and I hate
yeah,
to interrupt, but I'm gonna get Charlie because I don't want to
get
keep
Charlie,
crying. I'm sorry, Joey.
get Charlie.
Oh my God.
I love her.
I think she's hearing your voice and she's like, where is Joey?
Bring
Come say
her,
hi to
bring her.
Joey, Charlie. She's right over here with me. I'll keep her
Oh,
for
she's
Tom
so sweet.
while you
Oh,
keep
give
telling
her a
us
hug.
your hair and home remedies.
Yeah, so I had really thick curly hair, and you know, my father raised me. My mom passed away when I was 6. So my father and my grandmother, they were like trying to figure out, my grandmother raised all boys and my father had no idea what to do. So they would like tie my hair and like braid it with olive oil. I don't even know if they knew what they were doing. And she would like, okay, go to sleep with your hair like this. So when you wake up, we'll take it out and it'll be dry. Like they didn't know how to like deal with it, you know? And I still do that. I still like braid it and then like sleep with it wet and like take the ends and put the olive oil.
I love that story.
I know they were, you know, old school Italian. She didn't really know what she was doing. So it was interesting, but I still do it to this day.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. Well, on the conversation of like extreme things to do, what's the craziest thing you've ever done for the sake of beauty?
Having you do my makeup for my wedding, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, now everyone is not maybe thinking about like huge parties and huge events right now. I know things will change, but definitely like my wedding day was like a big deal in terms of like feeling my best. I had gone through like a very hard couple of months before. So I think, you know, we planned our wedding in like 6 weeks. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm definitely having Victor do my makeup and just like, that was the ultimate. That was like so special. And I definitely felt like my pictures were like worth it. You know, you spend so much money, time, and energy on it. It's like, might as well make it the best.
Yeah, it's crazy because they say that you're supposed to get married in the world that we study, the spirituality part that we study, they say that you're supposed to get married on a day that has a very positive day worth of energy. That day, I think, was so insane for everyone involved in your wedding.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday. It was
snowing.
It was snowing, right? It was cold, and I think we were all just kind of frantic and crazy that day. I remember I had 2 back-to-back clients, and then I was like, there is absolutely no way that I'm missing Joey's wedding. And it's crazy how life works out because my clients, and I want to share with everyone, my client was staying at the hotel right across the street from where you were getting ready. So it was just crazy. And then I got my schedule, and it was like, this is the time. And I was like, Joey, what time do you need your makeup done? And it was literally that same block of time that I had free time. And it's just so insanely crazy how, you know, our spiritual world marries so much into our beauty world at times. And I loved your wedding day. I think that was
honestly, I was so grateful that you were there. And you know what? Like the whole day, I was so calm. I was like, it's just going to be amazing. And then everyone, when they were together, like there was so much love in the room and everybody, you could feel that everyone was like, it just like so appreciative of being together. It was a nice time.
Yeah. It was a really beautiful day. So Joey, I don't want to take too much time off you because I know you're still working and you're still helping clients out and you're still, you know, going into the practice and filling in orders and FaceTiming with your clients.
I'm like,
it's so beautiful that you're still able to connect to your industry because I think for you as well as me, I think for us, we find a lot of our meaning as who we are as human beings by our industry, and not because our industry defines us, but it's because we're able to really share with people in our world, in our industry. So it's kind of a great outlet to do that. But what if you had a life motto? What would it be?
I was thinking, and I was, you know, I had a few, but honestly, I think that we cannot control any situation. And, you know, everyone is really recognizing that right now, but you can definitely control your attitude and your thoughts. And I'm reminding, you know, myself that and everyone that I love that constantly. And that's really the only thing. You just have to think positive, you know, feel good and control your attitude, right? And right now, it's like you can't let it get the best of you. You have to just like move forward. And now is the time to be creative. I feel like for you and I, like you and I have always talked about doing things. And now I'm like, I'm going to make this something, you know, benefit for the end result. And it's going to be better. It's really going to be a better option at the end.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on, you know, how people dealt with the Great Recession and how people lived
Right.
after the Spanish War. And it was very interesting. It's been very comforting for me to feel and to hear a lot of stories of companies being born during those times, and a lot of people learning during those times, and a lot of people taking that time and taking the advantage of having that time in life to birth something new. And I think that although we're still in the thick of it in New York City, and I think
Yeah.
we're still, you know, we still see the streets that are so empty, and on days where the rain comes down and it's a little dreary, the city feels,
Yeah, that's,
feels like it's
yeah.
dying a little bit. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, listening to those stories of hope and listening to those,
Send them to me, share them, because
of
now
course.
I have time. I can listen to a podcast. I could never do it before.
Yeah, yeah. I will send those things to you. So
Yeah.
I want to ask you two quick questions
Yeah.
from people that asked from my comment box that I posted yesterday. But also I want to summarize a little bit, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to butcher what you say. But the recipe for Joey's feel good, feel beautiful life motto is find balance. So taking
Yes,
time for yourself,
for sure.
taking care of your skin, which of course, like that.
You need this. I mean, this is like your representation for everything, especially now if we're going to be talking on social media, you might as well. Yeah.
Right, it's your business card. It's your business card for sure. And sharing with others, you find those three things as your recipe to feeling your best and feeling beautiful.
Yes.
Am I missing
Yeah.
anything?
No, that was perfect. And I think the most important thing is like we cannot control what's going on right now. So really just like try to control like your attitude and your thoughts and positive in a positive way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor.
I want to ask you two quick questions. So the first one, you can answer these as quick as you want.
Okay.
It comes from Mixie Jimena. I'm 26. What should I start using? So I guess she's asking the question of like, she probably never wears a lot of skincare or doesn't do a lot for her skin. What should she start with?
A great nighttime product. I would say something that's incorporating alpha hydroxy acids or a retinoid. If you could have one thing, that would be your, you know, a product at night, because the night resurfaces, and that's really a great time for rejuvenation is while you sleep. So something with alpha hydroxy, a retinoid, glycolic, something that's going to increase the cell turnover for sleep is the best.
Amazing, beautiful. The other one is, and I love this question because I also too want to know. Wax Music ask, what are three things you want to accomplish in 2020? It's a loaded question, but I think it's a beautiful question.
want to, I mean, on a personal note, I think I want to accomplish being calm in myself, right? I want to be calm. I want to not be so anxious. That's like really something I'm working on right now. I want to create a product that I'm really excited about. I want to create, I've been looking into skincare like for my own brand for 2 years, and it's so hard because I always get distracted. So I want to create a product that I love and that I think I believe in and that I think is like effective. And I want to create a family. So God willing, that happens in 2020.
Well,
just thinking positive.
think positive, and let's all send Joey some good vibes.
Thank
because
you.
I think you are the most beautiful and extraordinary woman
Love
in
you.
my life, which is why I wanted you to start this whole series off. And I'm so obsessed with you. I'm so obsessed with your man, your husband.
I know.
I love
He's
your
like
family.
hiding inside. He loves you.
I can't wait to see your family.
Come get a
business
treatment
grow.
too.
Of course, once the doors are open, I'm all about that VIP, clear and brilliant. Like I just want to go in and spend like the whole afternoon at JTAV Clinical Skincare. Because
if you want, I could send you a VIP. Maybe you could document it. We would FaceTime the application. Now is the time. Just for you,
Whoa,
I will do
that
it
could
because
be
I know your
cool.
skin.
That could be
Okay,
cool. Yeah, let's talk about that.
let's do
I love
that.
that.
That would be great. I love
Yay.
you.
I love
Mwah.
you more.
Kiss
Thank you,
Charlie.
Joey. I will. She finally chilled after I gave her some bones.
Have the best day.
I love you. Thank
I
you,
love
love.
you too. Bye, Annie.
Bye,
Thank
bye.
you.